Our beloved President Trump, Honorable Morton Klein, ZOE Chairman David Schoen, fellow honorees, it is my great honor to receive this award and to dedicate it to many Iranians who have risen up to oppose the Shiite fundamentalist regime of the Ayatollahs. The protests across the streets of Iran and from windows and rooftops all resound to remind us of values cherished across our shared heritage. Values of liberty, freedom, and the willingness to defend individual rights. From Moses freeing the Israelites from tyranny and leading them to liberty in Israel, to the stories of many kings in the Torah, we get inspiration to fight for our freedoms and our rights. In more modern time, the ancient tradition of defending freedom continued through the drafting of the Magna Carta and our beloved Declaration of Independence, enshrining inalienable rights that enrich our lives. Similarly, in the Iranian culture and Shahnameh, the Persian Book of Kings, we learn about the importance of individual responsibility and the importance of persevering on the side of right and just. And so do we learn the story of Esther and King Cyrus and his noble defense of freedom and religious liberty. With that background, it is tragic indeed that the Shiite fundamentalist regime, which more than 40 years ago received material support and assistance from the forces of global left, has turned the government of Iran into a bastion of terrorism, instability, and anti-Semitism in the region. This evil regime came to power because of an unholy alliance of left-wing Marxist, pro-Soviet factions, globalist leaders, and others in Iran, political parties, and a portion of the general populace who were fooled by promises of socialist utopia. Thankfully, Iranian peoples are waking up to the nightmare and have summoned the courage to rise against the forces of tyranny. In the future and free Iran, anti-Semitism and terrorism will have no place. Iranians are looking for a future where we can be at peace with our neighbors, from Urushalim to Riyadh to Baghdad, and indeed all over the world. We have the memory of that peace and prosperity under the Pehlوy dynasty. It is no coincidence that people in the streets of Iran chant Rضاشاه روحت شاه and Jaavid Shah, meaning Rضاشاه, God bless your soul, and wishing eternity for our beloved king. Many Iranians dream of returning to that era of peace and growth and prosperity that accompanied it. And also let me say this tonight. Jerusalem has always been Israel's eternal and undivided capital, and anyone who doesn't have hate in their heart recognizes this reality. Now let me take a minute to address the revolution underway right now in Iran. To the determined men and women risking life and limb to protest the Ayatollahs and their fundamentalist authoritarian regime in Tehran, your bravery is an inspiration for all of us. Many who were enablers of the current Iranian regime will try to hijack your voices, but that is no reason to give up. There will be actors that call on you to moderate your demands and to limit your ambitions. But as Barry Goldwater once wisely said, extremism in defense of liberty is no vice, and moderation in pursuit of justice is no virtue. Your slogans beautifully depict your anger and has the charming undertones of who we are fighting. Slogans that start with توپ تانک نفربر، نه اینوری نه اونوری، سبزی پلو با ماهی، and خامنه خمینی دیگره، این یکی از اون یکی چیزکشتره. Meaning the second Ayatollah is as bad the first one, except this one is even a bigger bastard. We are not alone in this fight, and we will fight them together. We will fight them when we battle Hamas fundamentalists, when we fight Hezbollah in Lebanon, and when we fight Houthis in Yemen. I have no doubt that the Middle East will see brighter days when we defeat the evil that the Ayatollahs have created from Shiite fundamentalism. I also use this occasion to thank President Trump for his impeccable judgment when he ordered the killing of nefarious IRGC commander Qasem Soleimani. Thank you, President Trump. Mr. President, if it wasn't for your decisive intervention, Qasem Soleimani would be alive and will be busy killing my brothers and sisters who are protesting the Ayatollahs even as we speak. President Trump, thank you for helping Middle East get rid of Soleimani. Thank you. Thank you. Leader McCarthy, congratulations on your re-election and thank you for being an ally to President Trump. The GOP is presented with a unique opportunity to fight back and drain the swamp. I hope that high on your agenda is to stop any aspirations that Biden administration has for restarting the disastrous nuclear deal. The money that Obama gave to the Ayatollahs, and Biden has been so eager to start giving to them again, is being used to fund terrorism across the Middle East, from Hamas in Gaza to Lebanon and Yemen. The drone program that the nuclear deal financed is now expanded outside Middle East and is being used in Ukraine to attack and terrorize civilian targets. We cannot, on one hand, be sending taxpayer dollars to Ukraine, while on the other hand, abet regimes who provide weapons to their attackers. We should be unrelenting in our opposition to any appeasement of the Ayatollahs. We should also be unrelenting in our pursuit of the foreign policy swamp that enabled this travesty. I'm sad to inform you that US taxpayer dollars have for the past decade been used by the swamp to subsidize this menace. In particular, there are two central areas of waste, fraud, and abuse of taxpayer dollars that have financed and supported anti-Semitic voices and colluded with the Ayatollah. They are the US State Department and Voice of America, each of them disgracefully at the center of this scandal. Over the past 10 years, the Voice of America Persian service has become a partisan tool for Get Out the Vote campaign for the Democrats. In 2016, one of its so-called journalists produced a campaign video attacking President Trump. The video is still available on VOA's website, even after House Freedom Caucus Chairman Scott Perry launched an investigation into it. For years, also VOA Persian has broadcast negatively biased coverage of Israel. The same journalist who produced the anti-Trump broadcast from Voice of America has her social media filled with anti-Israeli images. The antics of the State Department, in particular the Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights and Labor, and a few other benign-sounding programs are equally disturbing. These programs receive tens of millions of dollars annually for various Iran and Middle East-related initiatives, with most of that money directly or indirectly feeding left-wing activists. Many of these activists have well-documented and public history of anti-Semitism and holistic hostility towards Israel and US allies. But they serve a purpose for their cynical paymasters. When the Obama-Biden administration needed to create the illusion of support to help them ram through their disastrous nuclear deal, the groups funded through these programs were among the most enthusiastic cheerleaders for the Iran nuclear deal, something that Obama officials gleefully called the echo chamber that they had created. Many of these State Department-funded groups and personalities also serve as a campaign arm for the Democratic Party, with one supposed Iran activist openly endorsing Joe Biden as the candidate suited to saving American liberal democracy. What a lie. Using US taxpayer dollars as campaign piggy bank for Democrat Party is illegitimate and unethical, and sometimes worse. As the incoming Congress under your auspicious leadership comes to power, we hope that and pray that these programs at VOA and the State Department are totally and completely defunded. US government should not be in the business of funding anti-Semitism and anti-Semites. Unfortunately, hostility to the US and to the US allies in the Middle East has found a home in the US Congress and the Democratic Party. Members of this unholy alliance attack America, American values, and American allies in the Middle East, including Israel and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This is epitomized by shameful actions of Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut. Always a cheerleader for aiding Ayatollahs enabling the nuclear deal, Chris Murphy is ever at the ready to attack US allies in the Middle East. Chris Murphy, who receives funding and donations from groups with close ties to the Iranian government, enthusiastically attacks Israel at every opportunity. In his most recent shameful blackmail, he threatened another US friend and ally, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and blamed them for high gas prices that are actually a direct result of Biden administration's domestic energy policy and its hostility to domestic American oil and gas production. In addition, it was Senator Murphy who led the charge in calling on Biden administration to lift foreign terrorist organization designation that President Trump put in place against IRGC. Murphy took to social media and national television on multiple occasions to make his case heard. Senator Murphy, shame on you. I'm thankful to my dear friend, Congressman Scott Perry, for taking him on and to publicly call Murphy out for these antics. In closing, when there is despair, there is hope as well. Thanks to Abraham Accord, the Middle East, this cradle of civilization, history, and culture, has hope of a brighter future. one where anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism no longer has a place. Thanks to President Trump's efforts, along with Jason Greenblatt, who is a fellow honoree this evening, the process of establishing peace between our allies in Israel, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Morocco, and United Arab Emirates is now a reality. This is the beginning of a dawn of a new era in the Middle East, one of genuinely lasting peace and unbound prosperity. And I know my brothers and sisters in Iran, from Azerbaijan to Baluchistan, from Kurdistan to Khorasan, from Khuzestan to Isfahan, and from Tehran to Tombe Bozorg and Kuchak will succeed in their quest for freedom, for prosperity, and for pursuit of happiness. God bless America, God bless Israel, and God bless the freedom-loving people of Iran.